Hello, and welcome to Sylph Radio News. Today is the 45th of winter, first year, with Noryn Daq. The rise in nationalism throughout the world has had a greater impact than some political theorists had suspected. Nations from Ohio to Sanshoku have been wrestling with their nation's people. Each country has had its own method of dealing with the patriotism, although some, including Sanshoku, have seen major political upheavals, unable to overcome the obstacles of what many think were of their own making. Irilia has been particularly active over recent months, with military activities being reported in the Great Anvils, Kalbana and Ohio, threatening what had been a reluctantly stable region. Politically, all parties have yet to formally respond to Irilia's antics, although it's believed there have been skirmishes within the Great Anvils between Meraxian and Irilian forces. This series of operations comes after Irilia reported the loss of an experimental warship. Irilia has laid the blame on Meraxia, who have not yet responded to the allegations. New Esquire and Kudalia have recently gone to war with each other, with surrounding nations expressing concern. It is believed that Soltu, a relatively nearby nation, may very well get involved with the war if it fails to keep within the New Esquire and Kudalian borders. In regional political news, the Council of Rebirth has recently met, with a new councillor being admitted to the Sovereign Charter. Soltu was accepted to the council by unanimous vote, and promised to do their best for the Charter, to much applause. The Council has also announced the completion of the first pathway, pointing to the 400% rise in membership since the pathway was created, as well as the establishment of the radio stations broadcasting news and music throughout the region. The creation of a new, more ambitious pathway was also announced, promising to take the Sovereign Charter to new heights. Dramatically, the Sovereign Charter also voted to impose term limits on the government ministers and chairmen in order to call for new elections. However, due to time constraints, it is believed that there will be further discussion on term limits in the next session. The Minister of Interior, Prajal, received an intense grilling in what is believed to be the first of many minister question sessions, although there was a move to experiment with a forum-based question and answer, in order for ministers to hand in full reports before meetings, so they can be viewed by the public beforehand. This marks a dramatic step towards transparency for the Sovereign Charter, intending to put to rest any complaints of corruption that may have arisen. There have been a surge of new members to the Sovereign Charter recently, including the nations of Morgabad, Zandratis and the North Covenant. The recruitment committee has been at a loss to explain the rise in membership, having not been active for some time, but is believed that the surge in membership may simply be due to the attraction of a healthy community. Some nations have left or fallen into disrepair. However, the International Relations Development Committee has been discussing the matter to encourage members to stay, although it is not believed that an inquiry will be launched anytime soon. In economic news, the Sovereign Charter has seen the formation and growth of several businesses, including media corporations such as Retro Flashback, beverage production company Murphy's Champagne, and many others. However, the Charter has seen the most growth in shared currencies increasing their potency. The Verman franc has been growing recently, with Vermandoy proactively attempting to increase the acceptance of the Verman franc around the globe. And now 3 nations currently use the Verman franc. In recent weeks it has grown to be worth just over half an NS dollar, although this doesn't compete with the Ruon that is currently worth 3 times that figure. While the Verman franc and the Ruon are still growing, the yen has taken a hit, with investors worried about Sanshoku's economic policies falling to 0.2 NS dollars. This has been Sylph Radio News. Thank you for listening.